Hey, foodies and fellow historians alike. Now, if you all are anything like me, you enjoy a great sandwich, hero for my native New Yorkers, hoagie, sub, etc., at least once a week. Now, I must admit, I have been a resident of South Florida for over a decade and have not, I repeat, have not had a Cuban sandwich. I have been told that this may be a cardinal sin. So before I indulge, I wanted to do some research and find out about the origin of this Caribbean invention. And while I was already in the mood to research, I decided to also research the history of one of my absolute favorite sandwiches, the grilled cheese. So please sit back, like, comment, and hopefully enjoy a brief history of two iconic sandwiches. The Cuban sandwich. While there are many tales regarding its actual origin, the roots of this Caribbean delight can be traced back more than 500 years ago to the Taino tribe of Cuba before Europeans arrived. The original sandwich consisted of cassave, aka cassava bread, which is made from yuca. The flat, hard bread is made from cassava flour. This flour happens to be toxic if not cooked properly. Wowzers! So skill was definitely involved with the preparation of the sandwich. Before the Europeans arrived, pork was not available, so fish and or meat from a fowl was placed between two pieces of cassave. Once the Spaniards arrived, different meats, including ham and pork, were introduced to the locals' food selection. So the fish eventually was replaced with ham or pork, and the vessel, cassave, all was as well with something more along the lines of bread. Very interesting. Now to our grilled cheese sandwich, one of my favorite sandwiches as a child. My mom made it the best. The history of this cheesy invention is fairly recent. In the early 1900s, James L. Kraft was forced out of his partner's business and abandoned in Chicago. With a mere $65 to his name, he bought a mule, purchased cheese in large quantities, and then sold it to local grocers. Realizing that spoilage was an issue, due to the fact that many grocers and restaurant owners did not have refrigerators, in 1915, Kraft figured out a way to produce a melded pasteurized cheese, which he would go on to name processed cheese. The cheese could be transported without drawback of spoiling. He would go on to patent this cheese in 1916 and began selling it across the country. He sold cheese by the bulk and grated cheese as well. An example of an early grilled cheese sandwich recipe consisted of combining grated cheese with a binder, such as mustard, and then proceeding to toast the sandwich between two slices of buttered bread. These were called toasted cheese sandwiches. Fun fact, during World War I, the United States Army bought nearly 6 million pounds of this processed cheese. During World War II, numerous amounts of American cheese-filling sandwiches or grilled cheese sandwiches were prepared for famished seamen by the military cooks. During the Depression era, moms and dads found processed cheese to be an inexpensive and hearty option. Not long after, grilled cheese sandwiches became all the rage. School cafeterias served tomato soup along with toasted cheese sandwiches to meet the vitamin C and protein requirements for school lunches, hence the classic childhood combination. I hope this has been an informative journey for my fellow food historians and everyone in between. Remember, keep eating and stay awesome.